Hi, everybody. Day 3 of our 30-day tapping challenge. And today we're going to talk about our critical voice. We all have that little critical voice inside of us that beats us up when we don't reach perfection, that tells us we're not doing things properly. So today we're going to give that critical voice an opportunity to speak, and we're going to love it, and we're going to tame it. So one thing that I learned a lot during my second healing journey is that I would practice loving kindness towards everyone, including myself. And so the question for you is to ask yourself, are you as kind to yourself as you are to others? Finish this thought by saying, one way I could be kinder to myself is ... Hey, Brian. So at the end of this tapping session, we're going to look at, what you can do to be kinder to yourself and make that a goal for the next few days, just to catch yourself. So we're going to go ahead and start tapping. Now, for those of you who perhaps are not familiar with tapping, tapping is emotional release using the meridian points, and it helps to give the inner voice, the dark emotions, the negative emotions a voice, so you can release them, and then you can tap in the positive and really feel that de-stressing level come down, because that's the key in a healing journey and in creating vibrant health. You want to make sure that you maintain a nice, calm parasympathetic nerve system, because if you're in the fight or flight mode, then guess what? That suppresses your immune system, and that can affect your healing. Now, one thing that I do want to mention, so for those of you who haven't read my book yet, definitely encourage you to get the second edition of the book, Heal Breast Cancer Naturally. It's on Amazon. It's also on the website. But I talk a lot about essential number 4 and healing the emotional wounds. And for me, this was a really big aspect of healing in my second journey. I really had to learn to set boundaries, to de-stress, to calm that nerve system, because my whole life has been nose to the grindstone and got to get it all done and got to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, then I beat myself up about it. So today we're going to talk about calming that critical voice, that little voice inside of us that beats us up all the time. So we're going to start by tapping on the karate chop point. And what this does is it gives your little critical voice an opportunity to speak and to feel safe. Hello, Dino. Nice to see you. So even though I have this little critical voice inside of me that beats me up when I'm not perfect, I can choose to love and honor myself. Even though I have this critical voice that makes me feel bad when I don't reach perfection, I can totally and completely honor and love myself. So even though I have this critical voice that notices that I don't do things perfectly and reminds me of it all the time, I can choose to give that critical voice an opportunity to speak and to learn to love myself and forgive myself through the process. So just follow along with the tapping. You can use one hand or two hands, and it's very simple points. So inside the eye, and notice where you are with that critical voice. Is that at a 10 where you're beating yourself up all the time and you feel really down on yourself right now? Is it, that's pretty extreme, and that's at a 10. And you want that number to come down after we do the tapping. So this critical voice, it can be so loud sometimes, side of the eye, underneath the eye. It reminds me that I'm not perfect. Under the nose. When I try to do things right and I don't get it all done, on the chin, my critical voice reminds me that I didn't do it perfectly. On the collarbone, this critical voice makes me feel bad sometimes. Underneath the armpits, about 4 inches underneath the armpits, you can't see, right here. So 4 inches. That critical voice. I try to do my best inside the eye, but I don't always achieve what I try to set out to do. Good to see that you're tapping, Dino. Whoops, trying to see who else is on there. Side of the eye. This imperfection that I'm faced with every day. There's so many things that I try to get done every day. I've tried so many things in the past, under the nose, then on the chin. I've set so many goals for myself, collarbone, but I don't always reach them. And that critical voice under the armpit, that critical voice reminds me how imperfect I am. Inside the eye, that critical voice keeps me stuck sometimes. Side of the eye, that critical voice prevents me from moving forward. That critical voice reminds me of someone in my past. Under the nose, that critical voice could be a parent. On the chin, it could be a teacher. Collarbone, it could be a spouse, a former spouse, a friend. And that critical voice can really lower your self-esteem. And that critical voice inside the eye that I've paid attention to my whole life, side of the eye, has really kept me stuck at times. Under the eye. Because I recognize that that critical voice is just me feeling the disappointment. Collarbone. It's just me feeling the shame under the armpits. It's just me being imperfect and being human. Top of the head. So when I hear that critical voice inside the eye, I can remind myself that it's just an opinion under the eye, and I choose to listen or not. Under the nose, I choose not to give this critical voice a lot of power. On the chin, as a matter of fact, I can literally turn down the volume, collarbone, so I don't even hear it anymore. I can imagine myself turning down the volume so that I can't even hear that critical voice. But if I still hear it, in spite of that, inside the eye, I can just say, thank you for sharing. Side of the eye, thank you for sharing your thoughts, critical voice, under the eye. But I choose to look at things differently. Under the nose, I choose to love myself through the process. On the chin, I choose to have compassion for myself. Collarbone, I choose to have the attitude that it's okay if I don't get it all done. Under the arm, I choose to have a loving and nurturing attitude towards myself. Top of the head, I choose to have compassion and patience with myself. Inside the eye. I know that I'm doing the best that I can with the information that I have. Side of the eye. And I'm open to learning new things and new ways to live my life. Under the nose. Especially when it comes to my health, my physical health, my emotional health. I can visualize and see myself healing and feeling strong. And even if I didn't get everything done today that I wanted to get done, as far as my healing protocol, all my supplements, my coffee enemas, the juicing, the meals, getting the groceries, the organic food, all of those things, the meditation, the hyperthermia, all of that. Whatever I did get done, I can congratulate myself and give myself a high five. Great job. Great job for doing what you did today. After all, you were able to accomplish many things. And even if I ended up just laying on the couch all day because I wasn't feeling well, I can feel good about that because I'm allowing my body to rest. And rest is an important part of healing. Healing is not just about doing, but healing is about being happy inside the eye, being joyful, being at peace, being grateful, being loving, being nurturing, being happy. So as I focus on that loving and that nurturing voice, my body responds, my body heals, and I can feel at peace and have joy in my heart. So take a deep breath, let it out, and notice how you feel. Notice how that critical voice dialed down. And now you can ask yourself the question, are you as kind to yourself as you are to others? And one way I could be kinder to myself is ... and put that in the comment box. Go ahead and tell me what you can do to be kinder to yourself. So what I did today to be kinder to myself is that I played tennis this morning and I enjoyed the sunshine. I played, I laughed, I had fun, and that was #1 priority for my Fun Friday. So have a wonderful weekend and keep tapping. Put in your comments what you'd like for me to tap about. I'm happy to listen to your suggestions. Hey, Jana, nice to see you. And so I'm here to support you and to love you along the way. So this is Dr. V sending you a big healing heart hug. Mwah. Bye for now.